Welcome to the weekly close live here on the Passive Income Podcast. Joseph, how has your week been?
Dave, it's been a week, but it's Friday and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm happy to have you here. It is Friday. Here in Canada, it is the Friday before a long weekend, so the markets will be closed here on Monday.
That's a
Any
European
guesses
thing
on
too.
what holiday Monday is?
It's Queen Victoria Day. Is that
Jesus
right?
Christ, how did you know that? Did I
It
tell you that?
no. In all seriousness, I have a good friend who lives in Brussels, and he also has Monday off work. And I asked him, I was like, "What the hell? Why?" Uh, he and I were texting this morning.
Brussels, like what
Belgium,
country? Brussels, is that like Poland or Germany? What country is Poland or what country is Brussels in?
Belgium,
Belgium, yes, of course, right.
and where he works, they work on the UK banking schedule, so he gets Monday off too.
But I was actually just texting with someone today, James. I don't know if you know him, who's in England, and he was like, "No, England doesn't have a holiday on Monday. England has a holiday the following week, the same week as like." This is something that's always kind of confused me. Is that the Canadian May long weekend is always 1 week before the US long weekend. But anyways, enough about May long weekends, and we'll get into the weekly close live here. Okay, you know what time it is. I'm going to start to pull up the closing numbers for the week, which gives you the opportunity to shout out and plug anything you want, market plays or your own YouTube channel. What do you
Which
want to talk about while I bring up the closing numbers for the week?
I swear my YouTube channel is coming back eventually. I've got like 4 videos basically done. I've just got to get around to. I'm moving over the next 2 weeks. I'm trying to get through that before I focus on anything else. But actually, this week I want to point out something that happened this week that will not show up on the charts or the stats that Dave always pulls up. On Thursday morning, ticker POSSE, Posse for short, reported earnings, increased the dividend, and was up 51% on the week.
The Posse. I have no idea what that company is or what they do, but hey, maybe we'll talk about it.
I don't know, Dave. What do you do for work? For anyone not getting the reference, Thursday was Dave's birthday.
That's true. Yeah, yesterday I turned even older, if you can imagine that.
Oh, that one. Because originally when I sent you that in tweet form, I said ticker Dave, and then
Yeah,
I
and I thought you
googled
meant
it.
Dave and Buster's.
No, okay, no. Dave and Buster's, I think it is not. It's apparently a bank, but yeah, ticker Dave. Because I meant that for you as in happy birthday. No, ticker Dave is real. That's apparently a bank out of LA. I did not know
I
that
honestly,
when I
I
sent
saw
you
that
that
obviously,
tweet.
and I thought, dollar sign Dave. I just looked at it and thought, oh, Dave and Buster's. Okay, we'll talk about that. That's because I don't know what Dave and Buster's ticker symbol is, but I thought that
I
was what it was. So,
I only know this because it's fun. Dave and Buster's sticker symbol is play.
all right, that makes sense. Okay, let's get into the closing numbers for the week, and what a banger week! Here we are with again. I always start out with the obviously because I'm Canadian, starting it with the TSX composite, closing the week at 22,465. This is in Canadian dollars. I'm on yahoofinance.ca. And I do believe that is an all-time high close. The 52-week range at 22,470.
Pretty sure that
I'm
470 is an
very,
intraday.
very confident saying that is a 50 or an all-time high, right?
I 100% think you are correct based on the other indexes this week.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to skip over right away to the S&P again, closing the week at 5,303. Again, where are we at here? 52-week range, 5,325. And that must have been today, I'm guessing. Like, wow, just
Yep.
unreal
Yet
numbers for the
another
week.
all-time high.
The Dow Jones also closing the week over 40,000. Wow. Sorry, I do have to point out here USD for that last one, Nasdaq and Dow Jones. Wow, just what a run this week, right? Like the
Amen to
markets have
that.
just been absolutely on fire.
It's a good week to be an investor, to say the least.
And the Canadian dollar kind of inching back up to where we started here several months ago, way back in late
February.
January or
Yeah.
February, where it was at 74 cents to the USD. For remember that we went for a good 8 or 10 weeks, and then
Yeah.
the Canadian dollar dropped to 73, 72, and it's kind of inching back up towards that 74 cents that we were at for so many weeks.
Do
Obviously
you
does make it so difficult for anyone in Canada to travel to the US, but great for anyone in the US coming to Canada. You get 25% off of everything.
do you follow Finance Philosopher?
Maybe. I think so.
He's
I'm not 100% sure.
shout out Finance Philosopher, great follow, great guy. I highly recommend it. But I was going to send this to you, and I'm guessing by the fact you don't know what I'm talking about, I forgot to. He announced this week that he's officially a Canadian millionaire.
Oh, wow.
So if he
$1 million
he
is
would
still $1 million, right? Like $1 million
yeah.
Canadian dollars is still a lot of money.
So yeah, he lives over in outside of Denver, and with the I guess with the exchange rate. So
Oh,
shout out
I get it.
Finance
I get it. I get it. So
Philosopher.
he's got like 750 grand or whatever, and he's
Yep.
like, I'm a Canadian millionaire. Yeah. Fair enough. Good point. Crude oil closing the week at just under $80 a barrel. This is again in USD. We don't really talk about oil that much. We don't know much about it, to be honest.
It is it's dinosaur juice.
It's dinosaur juice. Bitcoin in Canadian dollars. Bitcoin never closes, but 91,000. Oh, I never even pulled up the Coin Market Cap website this week
Say
to
we're
show the USD price, but
for those of us using real money, that's pushing 67,000 again.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Bitcoin's had again interesting run this week. As it well, Bitcoin is kind of always interesting, right? Gold. Let's talk about gold. Back to USD, $2,420. Yeah,
Look at that, like 1 month. If there's a 3 month chart or a 6 month too, the
there's the 1 month,
run, yeah, we
and then
saw a
here's
little
the six
return to
month.
form.
Look at this six
That's
month.
what I'm
Oh my
looking at.
goodness.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. It's ridiculous.
1977. Great year, by the way. Do you remember 1977?
No, Dave, I can't say that I do. It was it'd be 20 more years before I came along.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. I was obviously extremely young in 1977, but 1981. But yeah, in that price range there, in that 6 month range. So going back to November in that 1977, 1981 USD price range up to look at this, just quite a run up. March, just what's that, 2 months ago at
Yeah, wow, don't tell me
2182.
that.
And then you're into where are we here? April 19th, about a month ago, pushing
Yeah.
2400. And here we are today at 2419. Gold is
Someone,
always interesting, right?
one of you armchair analysts out there, please find me another time in history where gold has gone up 30% plus in 6 months.
Yeah,
Because
35 right there, right? Like,
that
wow.
that asset class is not supposed to be this good.
You know what I wish was on here that we never talk about is the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, but I'm just going to leave it that there because it's not on here. So, the Nasdaq Composite closing the week at 16,685. Again, we're back to USD. We're still at the 6 month chart. Quite an amazing run for the Nasdaq as well, going up
Tech.
roughly or no over 2,000 points in that 6 month.
Oh yeah, tech with AI, which you and I are going to talk about here in a little bit, is on a run. I mean, when in the last 20, 30 years has tech not been on a run outside of 2001, of course.
Right.
But lately, with the advent of what quote unquote the next big thing.
Yeah. Everyone's always looking for the next big thing, right?
I mean, aren't we all?
Pond. Shout out to our one British viewer, James. Currency in GBP. That's Great British Pounds. Closing
Or
the week at 8,420 quid.
no,
I
no, no. I'm gonna
absolutely
say there
love
you
the
go.
term quid.
I'm gonna say
What's
I'm
that?
waiting for you to say the thing. All right, I got.
The thing? The quid?
I'm gonna say I know you're not letting me off this podcast until you said quit at least 2 or 3 times.
It's the best British slang word there is, in my opinion. Shout out to Akito over there, our one Japanese viewer.
Akito, I still don't think you're real.
Akito, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. We know it's Saturday morning in Japan. The Nikkei closing the week in JPY Japanese yen at 38,787. Wow, it looks like it's had quite the volatile week, right? Like, look at this on what is that, Tuesday? No, that's April. Oh, I'm on the 1 month chart. I'm sorry.
Dave, is this Akito in the room with us right now?
Well, that's up for debate. And just for fun, we'll look at how poor I am in Europe. Yeah, I'm even more poor in Europe than I am in the United States. So those are the closing numbers for the week. We'll get into the earnings calls and we'll see where we go after that. Joseph, any thoughts on anything here, or are we going to get right into the earnings calls?
That depends. How do you feel about memes, my friend?
I feel like a roaring kitty.
So we got to hit, man. What the heck happened to GameStop? Like GameStop did not report earnings. They are releasing more shares, but man, Roaring Kitty started tweeting. What you've been the reply guy, so I'm going to ask you. What was it, Monday of this week?
Oh, Monday or Tuesday, he came back from the dead. Well, I don't want to say he was dead,
but
came back from nowhere, and he had not tweeted in literally 3 years. Like 2021 was, I think, his last tweet. His literally that first tweet with him or that picture of a person in a chair and then the person leaning forward in the chair. It got like 16 million impressions in the first 24 hours on X, right?
And GameStop,
and then GameStop, as soon as he tweeted, GameStop just ran up. But he was not posting anything about GameStop or AMC. He's just been randomly posting these like little video clips that he's probably been making for the last 3 years, right?
Oh no, I mean, yeah, I have a theory on that. I think he knows he got off basically scot-free last time from the whole GameStop drama and everything, like all things considered. And I think he knows now that he at least has plausible deniability because he never said by GameStop this time. People did it by themselves.
Yeah. He just started tweeting and his tweets went crazy because he hasn't been around in 3 years. And you're right. He plausible deniability and more so because like I said, he's just been kind of tweeting these like little movie clips and edited movie clips of a couple movies together. And he's been doing it all week now. It's been an absolutely just crazy week for these same meme stocks that we saw 3 years ago, right? The GameStops, the AMCs, and whatever else.
Yeah, and I sincerely hope none of our listeners are. I guess the term we should use is bag holding GameStop right now.
Yeah,
because you peaked on Tuesday at what, $71 a share, and at close today only about $21 a share.
Wow. But like $71 a share is like how far over valuation for that company, right? Like.
So that was up 285% from the previous close. Absolutely ridiculous. Is GameStop? Yeah, GameStop's not even profitable.
No.
Which is, and like, I mean, this probably isn't the time to do this, but I feel like I can make a very convincing bear case for GameStop.
Yeah, easily,
Um,
easily. Like I just said, they're so overvalued right now, right? Like it's just
but
all
you know
because of
what?
a kitty, all because of a cat sending out tweets.
I guess if it, so two questions to everyone listening at home, and if you're in the chat, please give us your thoughts. Number one, how much money did Roaring Kitty make off of this GameStop run? He pumped and he dumped, and we all know exactly what he did. He got his bag and he ran.
Yeah.
Number two, Roaring Kitty has the blue check mark. What is his ad revenue payout going to be?
Oh, that's yeah. I was thinking that too. Like I said, his first tweet got 16 million impressions, so like he immediately qualified for the X ad
Oh
revenue
yeah,
payout. He's gonna collect a nice little bag, right? And also his replies, like in the first minute, he was getting like 1,000 replies in 1 minute. It was like, my goodness, this is absolutely crazy.
that's what happens when you hit 1 million followers. I guess on
Yeah.
what used to be
Well,
the
and the
Bird
fact
app.
that he's like obviously there was a movie made about him, right? Like that's part
Also
of it too.
helps.
Okay,
Also
let's
very
get
much
into
helps.
Monday. I'm gonna we're back to kind of that cycle of, we were there for so many weeks of having so much interesting to talk about, and now I don't know if we do. Legend Biotech, Bit Farms, whew, Net
Yeah.
Power down there at the bottom before open on Monday, after close on Monday, Stone. Okay, Pay Safe, Quick Logic. Do you have anything about any of these companies? I'm looking at this. I'm like, I don't think I know any of these companies.
I got a couple. Number one, right about 5 down on the left hand side, the company with like the turn up in the middle of their name.
Oh,
Dave, what?
this one
Yeah,
here
yeah.
with it looks like are those like Japanese or Chinese lettering?
Oh, I have no. I was going to ask you if you if you could pronounce that for us.
No, I cannot.
I cannot either. If Aikido were real,
Yeah, Akito, please jump up in the chat and
if
let us know how to pronounce this,
if
please.
if Aikido were real, and if that is Japanese, I don't know for fact whether it is or not.
Right.
But that said, getting into the
Akito
stocks,
is very real in my mind, so that's all that's really important.
I can talk about and I can pronounce. I did look up Bit Farms just out of strict curiosity. They're actually a crypto miner out of Toronto.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
I didn't know that. They beat earnings kind of. They only lost 2 cents per share versus the 3 cents a share that Wall Street expected. So they're not quite profitable. Um, they're up 12% on
Not
the week though.
profitable, but beat expectations. So kind of
Yes,
not 100% a win-win, but not a lose-lose, sort of a win-lose a little bit.
exactly. And they're actually up like 12%, or well, they slumped a little in the afternoon since I took my notes. Up about 10% on the week. 100% buy rating by wherever Robinhood gets their analyst information from. I think Morningstar. And I don't know, like somebody who knows crypto better than I do, I would think a mining operation is about to see a huge hit to their bottom line, or even the top line too, because of the Bitcoin halving. But apparently, you guys know something I don't, and I'll admit I am not. I'm ignorant on the topic. So please, if there's someone out there who can educate me, please, I'd love to learn
Right.
more.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll say that's all I had for the before open.
And for after close, I'm sorry, but since this is a long weekend here in Canada, I'm going to do this. Well, I'm just going to enjoy a little bit more of my after work happy juice while you talk about the after close on Monday.
I can make that happen. I you know, poll to you to announce that. I've enjoyed a couple after work happy juices on this podcast. I've never announced it. That said, there's only one I really want to talk about. Shout out my boy John, one of the partners at Marketplace with me. employed by PaySafe right there, a publicly traded little fintech company out of London. Huge East Coast office in Jacksonville, Florida. Fun fact of the day. But yeah, PaySafe, they do some kind. John, if you're watching this, I'm sorry because I'm about to murder what you do for work. He's explained it to me 100 times, and I swear that I've listened. I know it's something with payment processing, and I don't fully understand that world. So once again,
So
I'm to claim
something like an
ignorance.
ADP.
No, because isn't ADP more like payroll?
Yes.
Yeah, they do more like back end payment processing and
So more like a PayPal type of thing.
yes, exactly. Yes, very much.
Okay.
But they smashed like PaySafe has had it kind of rough since IPOing back in like October 2020, down 84% all time. But the week's looking pretty good. They did solidly beat earnings, coming in at 57 cents a share, over 10 cents a share expected, which is like almost a 600% beat. Like I understand we're talking
Yeah, that's
pennies here, but
crazy,
like
right?
it's huge. And if you look back at their earnings schedule, looking pretty good. They've got huge beats the last like year and a half. But that said, stock's up almost 16% on the week. Okay, actually, I took the back. Fell a little toward close today, up about 15% on the week. Yeah, shout out John. I hope you're doing well. I don't know how much PaySafe stock you own, if any, but I hope they gave you
Yeah,
a
that's good
lot
news for the
because
week.
yeah, very good news.
Okay, are we jumping to Tuesday?
I'm ready to jump Tuesday if you are.
Here we are on Tuesday. Alibaba, China, Home Depot. Everyone on Twitter loves Home Depot. Sony. Those are the big names there before open on Tuesday. What do you got for us on Tuesday?
Well, we can start with Alibaba. So Alibaba is basically China's Amazon for anyone at home who doesn't know. They killed it, to say the least. Stocks up 11% on the week. Did basically hit earnings, $1.41 a share expected over $1.40 a share actual. So a penny off. Again, we're gonna call it a hit. Kind of an interesting thing with them because like top line revenue was down, as was bottom line net income. And as was their market share, was also shrinking, probably due to both Amazon and Temu. Kind of an interesting talk there, but they said the thing. They said
The
they
thing.
said that they said the free win button in the stock market. Hear me out, Dave. They're
Sorry, they said
integrating.
what?
They said the free thing. If you say one thing in the stock market right now, you just get money. It's free
What's
money.
that one thing they said?
They're integrating AI.
Oh, okay.
So I don't really know exactly what that means, what that's going to look like for an e-com company.
We're going to integrate AI here on the Passive Income Podcast and the Weekly Close Live, and that's going to get us 1 million followers, and then I can finally pay you that 10 Canadian dollars I owe you.
Yeah, actually, here's your guys' fun fact. I'm only in person for about half the episodes. The other half is an AI version of me run by Chat GPT. Dave and Sam Altman go way back.
Oh man, that is so not true.
But either way, yeah, I don't really know what people are seeing in it, but they're integrate AI, and the market loved it, so the stock's up 11%. Oh, they're gonna
Yeah,
integrate
Alibaba
in AI.
is a very interesting website if you've ever been there. I've been there through my like professional purchasing job going, "Oh, I could," and I've never really bought anything through them, but I'm like, if this is real, if these deals are actually real, I could like anyways, that's an aside. And that's kind of part of their problem is like it looks too good to be true. So you
Oh,
avoid it, right?
that's I feel like that's because it is. Have you do you shop on Temu?
No.
No, I've never bought anything off of there. I've never bought anything off of Alibaba either. Also, I think I average like two
Full disclosure, I
Amazon
have
orders a
bought
year.
from Alibaba. Like you can get things there. Like the difference, like you called it the Chinese Amazon, but the difference is like Amazon wants to sell you one of everything. Alibaba wants to sell you like 10 or 50 of everything for resale, basically, right?
That's it. Okay, actually, I didn't really know that. I've heard resellers using it. Um, I've never even been to the website, but again, I think I average like 2 Amazon orders a year, so I'm not exactly the guy to be talking to here.
Right.
Online
No,
shopping is not my cup of tea.
so Alibaba is really interesting, except, and again, I've stayed away from this because it's like, oh, like Milwaukee, like tools,
I,
very high
every,
quality tools, right?
Everything I own is Milwaukee. You're talking
Yeah,
to a
they're
believer.
and same with like DeWalt is a good brand name as well. And so I'm looking at this and it's like, oh, you could get 10 Milwaukee drills for the price of one. But I'm like, that just sounds way too good to be true.
I would say that
And
sounds like there's a ripoff there or something.
yeah, like they're the Chinese knockoff for sure. 100% for sure, right? Because I've thought about it. I'm like, if I bought 10 Milwaukee drills and sold 9 of them, I would be up like whatever, $1,000, $2,000.
Oh yeah,
But I'm like,
easily.
that's just too good to be true. So Alibaba, you know, there is a lot of good things going on there, but also kind of really, really do your due diligence before you buy things from that website.
Now I have to look up Alibaba once we hop off of here. Um,
Yeah,
moving into a little bit more of a trusted company, Home
Home
Depot.
Depot. I
Um,
love Home Depot. I love just going to Home Depot on a Saturday morning and just walking around and looking at the 2x4s and the garden center and the appliances and because well, I'm a guy.
uh,
And now that you're like a dual homeowner, right? You've got
yeah,
Home Depot is
day.
going to be your well, and Lowe's and
Well, for
whatever
that,
other local hardware stores you have, but you're going to
uh,
be in a hardware store every weekend for the rest of your life.
I must say, for the record, I've already spent over $1,500 at Lowe's this week, and I project I'm probably going to double that this weekend
Yeah.
as we get this house ready to rent. But actually, I want to do a quick all call or a quick, very targeted message to Mr. Edward Decker, CEO of Home Depot. Ed, I live an hour and a half away from the nearest Home Depot. There are 2 Lowe's in my town, so I know there's a market here. If you could just build me a Home Depot, just one, I would be so happy.
Are you serious? You don't have a Home Depot in your town?
Nope. Nearest one is over an hour away.
Oh my goodness. So
It
obviously all your business is going to Lowe's. If you got
it
2
is.
Lowe's there, you're going to go there. You're not going to drive an hour to get the exact same 2x4.
Which actually, to add that in, it's gotten to the point of when I know that my in-laws are visiting from South Florida, I guess really Central Florida, I'll send my father-in-law a list of things that I know are cheaper at Home Depot, and I'll have him drive them up to me. It's gotten to that point. So please, Ed, for me, you'll get my money, I promise. Um, as someone who bought a fixer-upper home and has spent way more money on it than ever thought possible, and is still spending more money than he ever thought possible on it, please, I will.
Yeah,
I will
wow.
give you. I will pay at least 2 cashiers' yearly salary. I promise. But that said, you did beat earnings. I think I have it written down. I'm going off memory here. You did beat earnings slightly. 363 a share expected. No, 363 a share actual. 360 a share expected. 3-cent beat. About a 1% beat. So I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's a hit. Um, did issue a 250 a share quarterly dividends. That's always kind of nice.
Yeah,
Stock
yeah. Twitter loves the dividend on Home Depot.
Stock's down about 1% on the week. 0.83 really. I mean, in a stock as large as Home Depot, I think we call that pretty flat. Biggest thing in their earnings call was those sales overall top line revenues were down 2.3% year over year, which sounds concerning, but Home Depot and analysts are saying that is more because of the economy rather than an issue with Home Depot itself. Um, American consumers, at least, are just not spending as much on home repair as they used to. or as they would in a maybe we'll say a better economy.
Yeah, booming economy, people are spending hand over fist, where right now,
Yes,
and same here in Canada, obviously, people are more, what's the word, like, more, I don't wanna
fiscally
say stressed
conservative.
out, but sorry,
Yeah,
well,
I was saying conservative with their money,
yeah,
but stressed
conservative,
out is
that's a much
also.
better word. Uh, More from Tuesday. Like, we're already 30 minutes in, and we're only on Tuesday, so, what do
Don't
you got
worry,
there on Tuesday morning and afternoon?
I got one more, and we got to talk about Sony.
Yep.
Sony, you know him, you love him. The PS5 stocks up 12% of the week. Solidly beat earnings, $1.04 a share actual, over 79 cents a share expected. PS5 sales were actually a little down, but of course, Sony makes a lot more than just the PS5. So other sales really propped it up. Interesting thing with Sony is so Paramount, the I guess the streaming service slash TV company, whatever,
Yeah.
is not doing great at all, and they are potentially looking at an M&A or even just a straight up sale. And right now, Sony is in the lead to buy out Paramount.
Yeah, and I saw that this week too, not with Sony, but it was, I think Netflix and a couple other streaming services that were gonna start offering a bundle package,
Oh, I
and
saw. I didn't look into that, but I saw it.
yeah, I don't know if it's been here on the Weekly Close Live. I think I've talked to you in the past where I said this it's gonna happen in the future where these
Oh,
streaming services have to team up to bundle because nobody wants to pay, like, for 15 different streaming services, and all of a sudden, like, the whole reason for cutting cable way back, 10, 15 years ago was like, "Oh, I could get Netflix for, $6 a month." And now it's like, "Oh, if I pay," and now it's obviously a lot more than $6 a month, is gonna be like, say,
oh yeah.
12, and you're paying like 15 times 12, you're like, "Well, I could get cable or satellite for less than that." So that's kind of always been my thing is like at some point, and it's starting to happen now. We just saw it earlier this week where they've decided, okay, we're going to team up and offer a bundle of, I think it was Netflix and Hulu and um, I, I don't want to say Disney because I don't think Disney was in there. Maybe it was, but
I
there
was like
was
Disney.
three or four of them that they were going to offer a bundle, and it's like, yeah, it's got to happen at some point in the future, right?
I was like Disney owns Hulu, so that's definitely a potential.
Okay, so yeah, maybe it
Um,
was Disney Plus then in there. I
but
can't remember exactly what I saw, but
but yeah, there's my take. We talk about this a lot. Streaming, in my opinion, please yell at me in the comments, but I don't care. Streaming services as a whole are a dying breed, especially pure play streaming companies like Netflix.
yeah.
10 I guarantee 10 years from now Netflix is gone, or it's a absolute shell of what it was before.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be gone, but, like, I I would see it being kinda gobbled up by someone. It's gonna be gobbled up by Apple TV or Amazon Prime, right?
I could see that, yeah, because like I know you're a big fan of the Amazon streaming service,
Yeah,
Prime Video, right?
yeah.
And honestly, in my honest opinion, that's the only one that really makes sense because the streaming service itself is a bonus on top of other things you get.
Yeah, that's
So
I'm kind of the exact opposite. I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna pay for one streaming service, Amazon Prime, and then if I ever order anything from Amazon, I've got the Prime membership, so I'll get it, like, before I order it because Amazon is like, "You were about to order this."
they know. But no,
Yeah.
that's exactly it. So like I look at these pure play stocks like Netflix, and after a while, the only way you're going to keep beating the bottom line is by screwing over your customer base because you can't add subscribers forever. At some point, you hit a cap, which Netflix, if they haven't hit, they're very close to, and they know it. Whereas like a company like Amazon or Disney, they can offer a lot more than just Disney Plus or the Amazon Prime Video. They've got other products to back it up. And I mean, even if you want to go Amazon Prime because of the streaming service, comes with the shipping. If you watch Twitch, you get to give one free sub per month. It's a whole package for the same
Right.
price as Netflix.
And your neighbor later this summer is going to have the biggest show on Amazon probably ever.
No, not even probably. It is just ever. Period. Like in terms of both contestants and prize money.
Yeah. And if you don't know who we're talking about, Joseph's neighbor is the one and only Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast. He lives right next
were
door. He's like literally or Joseph just walks over and says, "Hey, Jimmy, can I borrow 500 grand?" And Jimmy's like, "Yeah, here you go."
yeah. Me and Jimmy were both taking our trash cans to the road at the same time this morning. Um, what this is an after the call talk, but it's crazy because people are very mad at him right now.
Oh,
Here locally.
oh, okay. We'll talk about
Well,
that later.
long story short, for everyone at home, he got a permit from the city to do fireworks until like 3 a.m. every night. And as you can imagine, his neighbors don't like fireworks at 3 a.m. on a Thursday morning.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're still on Tuesday. We're like we're gonna
I
be here all night, man.
I only have 3 stocks left. Maybe
On
4.
Tuesday? Oh my
Well,
goodness. Okay.
no, just in general.
Oh, okay. What do you have left on Tuesday? Nothing, or are we
No,
skipping over to Wednesday?
we are done on Tuesday.
Let's get to Wednesday. Wednesday, Dole, pineapples, bananas. That's all I'm thinking there. Monday.com reporting on Wednesday. I think they missed something there.
Which actually, if you remember correctly, one of the first times we did this, Monday.com reported on a Monday morning, and I made a huge deal about it, and nobody laughed.
Yeah, so okay, well, we're not getting any laughs here either. So.
Well, we're gonna do Monday.com real quick. Stocks up like 25, 26% of the week. Solidly beat earnings, 61 cents actual over 40 cents a share expected. Biggest news, they brought in more customers, and their average customer is spending more money on the product itself. I had actually a really hard time researching this one because like Monday just took care of business on this earnings call. Like they didn't announce anything fancy. They're not integrating AI like Alibaba was. They just it was a good old fashioned earnings call.
Okay, fair enough.
We can hit Dole real quick. That's I didn't really look up Dole, but yeah, the fruit company up 3.5% on the week. Out of Dublin, I did not know that. 43 cents a share actual, 31 cents a share expected. And once again, there's like no fanfare around them at all. It looks like, I mean, come on, it's the fruit company. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
Invent new bananas?
No, they're just gonna put a sticker on a banana. That's really how everyone knows about them, right? Is it that you see that logo as a sticker on a banana or a pineapple or whatever other fruit they make.
Or if you're in Disneyland, you get the Dole Whip. Highly recommend. Last one we got to hit Cisco.
Yep.
Good old reliable Cisco. Let's see here. Did they beat earnings? I know I wrote it down. Yes, actually, 88 cents a share actual, 77 cents a share expected. Top line revenue was down again. Same story as Home Depot, though. It's not really a Cisco problem. It's an economic situation problem. Stocks up 0.69% on the week. I mean, it's Cisco. I mean,
Right.
Cisco is, in my opinion, probably the definition of a blue chip stock. They're going to make a lot of money. They're going to tell you they made a lot of money. They're going to give you a dividend, and then they're just going to keep doing their thing.
I got to ask you quickly, what are your thoughts about, obviously they're spelled differently, and we know they do different things, but Cisco, that we're talking about now, versus Cisco, the food supply company?
I don't know like anything about them.
No, isn't it just weird that they have like literally the same name? They're spelled differently, and they're allowed to have the same name because they're in different markets and spelled differently and whatnot. But Cisco, I deal with Cisco at my day-to-day job every now and then, and
what do you think about Dove chocolate and Dove soap being different companies?
okay, fair point. Yeah. Well, I try not to bite into a bar of soap thinking it's going to taste like chocolate, I guess, right?
And you know what? Anyone who does that at home, please let us know. We'll bring you on the pod next week.
Is a keto in the room with you right now?
Is the soap eater in the room with you right now? Is the question.
Okay, we're gonna skip over to Thursday. Are
Yep.
we getting there? We're getting through the
Yep.
week.
We're getting there.
Okay, Walmart,
Yay, Walmart.
John Deere, Lightspeed, Under Armour. Lots going on there before open on Thursday.
Let's
Not
get.
so much after close on Thursday. Applied Materials and a few others there, but jump into it. What do you got for Thursday?
All right, I only got two of them. I kind of slacked a little bit on the later part of this week. Walmart got the triple crown in their earnings call. They beat
Yeah,
revenue, they beat net income, and they beat same store sales. Walmart up like 7% on the week, 6.7%, I think is the actual. 60 cents a share actual, 49 cents a share expected. Foot traffic is up, same store sales are up, profit margins are up. I mean, what do you say other than like, wow, go Walmart?
yeah.
Somewhere out there, Sam Walton is, looking down from heaven, very happy. And I will confidently say Sam Walton, is in heaven. He was a very, God, I probably shouldn't say this, but from my understanding of Sam Walton, he was a very generous founder.
Right.
Say what you want about his heirs, but that's another podcast.
Yeah, no, honestly, I love Walmart. I do the majority of my shopping there, to be honest.
We're a Sam's Club family, so your and I's money contributes to the same bottom line.
Right. I don't think we have Sam's Clubs here in Canada. Maybe in the bigger cities, or there might be a couple in Toronto or Vancouver, Montreal. I don't know, Calgary, but
I think the nearest Costco to me is Charlotte, so I kind of don't have a choice. Charlotte being about 3 hours from me.
that's crazy again. You have no Home Depots and you have no Costco's?
Let's see, there might be a Costco in Raleigh. Okay, now I take that back. There's a Costco in Raleigh, which is about an hour and a half from me still.
An hour and a half to get to your closest Costco and Home Depot.
Yeah, well, in different directions too.
Oh my goodness. Are you even alive?
By Twitter, and also I don't drive a Toyota Corolla. By Twitter definitions, I'm broke and I'll never recover.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna make it. You're just not gonna make it.
Have fun staying poor, losers.
Oh man, that's a long drive for $1.50 hot dog.
I don't know how much. Somebody in the chat let me know how much. Like I go to Sam's Club we shop every other weekend. Every other, I'm not going to dox myself that hard.
Yeah.
Every other week, not even always the weekend, we go shopping. I don't think we have stopped at the Sam's Club food court since pre-COVID.
Oh.
I have no idea how much the hot dog is. I know they have it. I can see the picture. No clue.
I did not even know Sam's Club had a hot dog.
They've got a hot dog. If Costco's food court has it, so does Sam's Club's, basically. Right. They've got the pizzas. They've got the hot dog. Froyo, maybe? It's been easily 4+ years since I ate at the Sam's Club cafe. The IKEA cafe, though, that's where it's at.
Right. The Swedish meatballs.
Actually, next YouTube video that I have coming out, I dragged the Marketplace guys to an IKEA in San Francisco, and they were not as happy about it as I was.
That is awesome. Fun fact about the Costco hot dog. In Canada, they also cost $1.50 Canadian. So a Costco hot dog in Canada is equivalent to what, about $1.20 USD, $1.15, somewhere in that ballpark.
So if you're willing to make the drive,
yeah, you can save another 35 cents on your 25 cents on your hot dog.
I mean, if you live far, I don't know what is the. We can talk about this on another time. But what is the nearest Costco to the U.S. Canadian border on the Canadian side?
Oh,
I'm
sure there would be many.
Yes.
So right now, okay, just sort of local to my area, the closest Costco is Kingston, which is about a 45-minute drive away. They were actually supposed to build one here in my town, but that hasn't happened yet. And then there's a border upstate New York, so north of Syracuse, north of Watertown, New York. You can cross the border to there's a bridge across the St. Lawrence River, and so from that place, Alexandria Bay is actually pretty much the closest small upstate New York town to that bridge. And so from Alexandria Bay to Kingston, it would probably be, yeah, if you don't get held up at the border, it would be under an hour. It would be, yeah, 45, 50 minutes.
I'm on Google Maps right now, and yeah,
Looking
you're
up
right.
upstate
Yeah,
New York. And
yeah.
again,
No,
I don't even know where other Costco's are, like, Niagara Falls to Buffalo or out west, say,
there are
upstate
several
Montana to Alberta. Who knows, right?
no, actually, I mean there's one random one way up north, actually, if I'm reading this right. But yeah, Toronto and Montreal are basically where they're all based. There's a couple like just random ones here and there. Like right here outside, I don't even know what city this would be. This might actually be not far from Ann Arbor, Michigan. But there are no Costco. There's one Costco west of Toronto, and
No,
it's
there's gotta be I would think there has to be a Costco. Actually, Windsor, there has to be one there, Windsor is literally called South Detroit, just because there's another fun fact is there's a part of just because of the way the Detroit River
yep.
runs, Detroit is actually north of Windsor, and nobody would ever think that, right? Like, obviously, Canada is north of the US, so why would anyone ever think that a US city is more north than Canada? But that's just kind of the way the river happened to be.
I mean, we can play the North and the South game for a while because there are a few like the entire state of like South Dakota is north of some parts of Canada, but
Yeah.
that's another talk. Like geography is a fun thing to discuss. But I think people are looking for us to discuss John Deere's earnings.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get back into I'm sure we're losing some people right now. Like, what are these guys going on about? Like the Detroit River and South Detroit.
I told Tom, the savings captain, that this was the two of us screwing around for an hour and we happened to talk about stocks.
Yeah.
And I think we're living up to that.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Shout out to Tom. Great guy. Loved having him
yeah.
here in your absence there a few weeks ago.
He filled the chair well and he left big shoes to fill. Tom's a good guy. Like shout out Tom, the savings captain. Give him a follow on really everything. Money Happy Hour is his podcast. Highly recommend. And he just did an episode with Outdoor Finance, which is an absolute banger. Like I love that episode.
Oh, I haven't heard it yet. I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Highly recommend. Also, Seth, Outdoor Finance, just a good guy. I like him a lot too. But yeah, John Deere solidly beat earnings, $8.53 a share actual, $7.87 a share expected. Stocks down about 3% on the week. Basically, big slowdown coming to the lawn tractor market. I mean, that's kind of fringe on the consumer discretionary. I know they do a lot of like industrials and construction as well. Well, a lot of that's slowing down hard right now, basically on uncertain economy. And John Deere, I know they've been doing well. They hit a little dip a few years back with the whole right to repair movement, but
right,
they've really been killing it over the last. I mean, they crashed since the 2020 crash. They're up 165%. So, it runs like a deer,
It runs like a deer, smells like a
John. I've never heard the smells like a John part before, but I'm gonna steal that. I'm 100%.
Really, you've never heard that?
I've had John Deere green ingrained to me in life. Thanks.
Yeah, no doubt, right?
Shout out Joe Diffie. Actually, I think he passed in 2020 due to COVID, but shout out Joe Diffie. Go look him up on Spotify.
You got more from Thursday. We're gonna get to Friday. And that's this week.
I'm actually pretty done. I don't even know who reported today. I couldn't begin to tell you.
Yeah, there was honestly a whole lot of nothing on Friday.
Yeah, I
don't know. and don't know anyone in the comment that knows anything about any of these companies.
What is HTHT is H World. Up
Yeah,
percent and a half, 34 cents actual, 28 expected.
and obviously when I see RBC, all I think
Yeah.
is Royal Bank of Canada, right? Like RBC is the biggest company in Canada by far. It's number one by market cap in Canada, bigger than Spotify, bigger than the other Canadian banks.
I
And
hate I hate that Royals ticker is RY.
it's a little annoying, yeah.
Actually, RBC killed it. Up 8% on the day. Beat earnings 247 actual, 236 expected. I
Just to
don't
clarify, RBC, this bearings
Yes.
company, not the bank.
They are out. They do engineered precision bearings and products, specifically for aerospace and defense.
Right.
Oh wow, that's actually really cool. Wait a minute. Yeah, that now we know.
The more you know, right?
Knowing is half the
Actually,
battle.
bearings are extremely important in so many different industries, manufacturing, like you just said, aerospace. Like you would
Oh no,
never think about how important a bearing is until you need one, right?
I'll say that Canaan Inc. is another Canadian-based crypto miner.
Oh, fun. I did think I saw that earlier this week when or even earlier today when I saw that come up. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, okay, interesting, cool.
So yeah, that's all you got from us on Friday. We're all learning things here together.
Yeah. Okay, so we're kind of probably sort of done with the earnings calls for the week.
I believe so.
I think I can do this without
This is
making you
this is
the.
a new view.
Well, I was
Oh,
trying
there
to
we
do it
go.
so that you don't turn into that like little tiny screen there on the side.
I appreciate it. I like being an equal host.
Yeah. Well, you are. You're so very appreciated here on the weekly close live every week here on the Passive Income Podcast. Please join us every Friday at 5:30 Eastern. Well, right now it's Eastern Daylight Time, Eastern Savings Time, whichever. We're at 5:30 all year round. Joseph, thank you so much for being here.
Hey,
Thank you
of
so much for
course.
coming on.
Thank you
Love
for
having you
having
here.
me.
Love our weekly chats.
Amen to that.
If you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. If you're on any of the other platforms, go ahead and hit the follow. Joseph, anything more to say before we log off? Anything to shout out? Anything?
I mean, hey, just shout out all of you for watching. Love doing these. Have a great time. We've been getting some great viewership, great engagement with chat, comments, and everything. So keep them coming. Really
Yeah,
appreciate
exactly.
every you tuning in every week.
Keep them coming. Shout out to James in England and shout out to Akito in Japan. Someday I will introduce. I will. I'll send you his Twitter handle someday.
Someday. All right. It's my favorite. That's my favorite day of the week. Someday.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you again next week for
See
the
you next
weekly
week.
close live.